Happy New Year and welcome to Project Life 2020. For 2020, I am going to continue using a 9x12 album, and I will continue with the monthly format along with using the Stories by the Month kit by Ellie Edwards as my main supply. This is the kit that I'll be using for January. And if you're interested in seeing how I use these pages, stick around because I will be sharing my completed spreads. Here we have a chipboard set that is all about new chapters and fresh starts. This awesome wood veneer 2020. I think I'm going to do something with this. Either add a spray glitter or emboss it. I'm not sure yet. Here's the stamp set, which is pretty cool. I like this font, and that it's a different font on all of the, well, this and this one are the same, but it's pretty much 3 different fonts there. I like that, 4 of them actually. Here are the 3x4 cards. Renew and refresh, bring on new stories, less is more, I want to remember, happy brand new year, stripes, January memories, and get it. Some of the stuff I'm working on right now. The 4x6 cards, quote card, January high fives, celebrate this, and the marketing card. And this month we have the word phrases that are white type on black background paper. Alright, that is this month's kit, and I will show you how I use these products in my pages. Bye! I ended up using the Celebrate Story Kit to supplement the Stories by the Month kit, and this is what I have left over. A 3x4 card, the stamp set, the word strips, and chipboard. For the Celebrate kit, I have the acrylic word, a 4x6 card, the wood veneer word, a couple more 3x4 cards, the story cards there, chipboard, and the marketing piece. That's what I have left over. I'm really proud of the way I used the 2 kits in combination with each other. I think they complemented each other. Okay. My plan for 2020 is to use a 9x12 album and the Stories by the Month kit from Ellie Edwards, along with some story kits sprinkled here and there in the album. Another plan for 2020 is to use this traveler's notebook that I had in my stash to tell monthly stories. Kind of like a summary of every month. I've already started with January and February, and there's March. This is just a standard size traveler's notebook from Felicity Jane, I believe. I used large number stamps here on the cover using this metallic ink from Ellie Edwards. You could use anything to title your traveler's notebook. My plan is to keep it as flat as possible so it doesn't get too bulky. And this was just a card that came in the January kit, and I cut it down because I like the message. My plan is to use the monthly stamp on the left side and then journaling on the right. So I did that for those months already. And some of the word strips. I don't use those enough, and I think this is going to be a great way of using them up. The other plan I have is to insert the traveler's notebook into this plastic pocket or plastic pouch. This is what the story kits come in. I'm going to trim off the top, insert the traveler's notebook, and put it in my album. I haven't decided if I'm going to adhere it, actually, so it'll look like this. I haven't decided if I'm going to adhere it to the inside of the cover of the album or if I will punch holes and then put it in the binder this way. I tried something similar for 2019 by creating these journal spots. I created one for every month, but I didn't like the way it looked in the middle of each of the spreads, and it created a lot of bulk. As you can see, this is what it would do right in the middle of the album. So I abandoned that idea, and I'm going to give it another try in a different format. If you don't want to use a standard size traveler's notebook, you could try and make one on your own. Just search traveler's notebooks. This is what I did for my 2018 Week in the Life album. I'm not done with it, which is why this is not bound. But I made this myself, and I used a smaller pouch to insert the traveler's notebook. Punched holes on the binding there, and then insert it into my album. So you could use this size, or you could use that size, or any size you want. You could also create an even smaller traveler's notebook and use the zipped pouches that the Stories by the Month kit come in. You could you could punch holes in it and then put it inside your album, or you could even insert it into the album this way. You have to use strong adhesive. I'm going to use red line tape, and if red line tape doesn't work, I'm going to use hot glue. There is the plan for my supplemental journaling for the album. And now let's get to the pages. I took the pages out of the album because there was a lot of glare, and the album is black. So I thought it might look a little bit better if I took the pages out of the album and showed them to you that way. Here's my intro page. Oh, here it is. This is my intro page. I'm using a couple of acrylic pieces. This is from the family kit. This one was one that I special ordered with our last name wood veneer that I used clear embossing powder on. And then I used a star patterned acetate piece for the background, and then the little wood veneer pieces. I had these in my stash, but I know that they also came in the family kit, which was from, I don't know, February or something. I can't remember what month that was from. I had this in my stash. So it says Benitez Family Stories. On the back side, I added a 3x4 card to just to kind of break up that pattern there. I really like the way that came out. And then for the first page, I kept it very simple because the pictures were pretty busy. I just took a picture of each one of us on New Year's Day, New Year's Eve / New Year's Day. Did a little bit of journaling and added some chipboard pieces right here. These are letter stickers that I had in my stash. I have a bunch of these. I love them. Come with alphabets and numbers from Allie Edwards. So the colors always match. Very nice. And then this is what the first spread looks like. Here, let me do this because this is what it would look like in the album. Yep. Okay. Lots of journaling here. I just went ahead and journaled a little bit about the pictures. I tried to use this yellow color in multiple places. So I used it here, here, and here, kind of like in that visual triangle. There's some of that color in the background here, and then this 3x4 card. And kept it fairly simple. This is from the, where is this from? The Celebrate kit. I don't remember where this is from. I think it's from the Celebrate kit as well. I'm not 100% sure. I did these pages a while ago actually. And then this is an insert. And I have something to show you there. I had a bunch of cards. I had the idea that I wanted to use them as much as possible, kind of like crushing that kit, you know. And what I decided to do was create this little mini album for some of my extra pictures. And once it's folded, it looks like that. And then you just look through it. Did some journaling. A lot of these pictures are from New Year's Eve, if not all of them. Yeah, they're all from New Year's Eve. I really wanted to include them, and I thought this was a great way of doing that. And then when you put it back in the album, or rather back in the pocket, it doesn't give you a lot of bulk, and then you can see the cover on the back side. This here is just a picture of my husband and I celebrating our wedding anniversary and some journaling. Well, this is what the back side looks like. I decided I needed to add my son's name so that people knew who that was. This is another insert that I kept very simple, just some journaling, a 3x4 card, and the actual picture. And then, here, let me put these here together. I did run out of cards to use, and I decided that I was going to use the subscriber content from the Scrap Gals podcast. I downloaded it into Photoshop and added the journaling. I wanted to bring out some of the yellow that was in this spread, and I added this chipboard piece there, which matched my son's shirt. And then I found these two other chipboard pieces with the black background that complemented this card here. Color coordination is a big deal for me in my album, and I do it as much as possible. What I did with the 3x4 cards here was that here, let me turn it around. There we go. This was a 3x4 card that was just a pattern. It was not a journaling card like this one was. What I did was I journaled, and then I cut out the journaling part and adhered it to the pattern card to mimic what this card looked like. And I was pretty pleased with myself and that idea. And I love this blue color. Complements this card, and a little bit of this card here. And that was it. A lot of type journaling. I think I'm going to continue to do that whenever I can. Very simple embellishments. Another thing I did was I used this is a 4x6 card in its original form. I moved the text box the layer that I created in Photoshop, added it over in this area, and then trimmed down the card to create a 3x4 card, and that way I have complementary patterns on the left and on the right. And that's it. I already got started on my February pages. I'm not done, but I have a couple more, I think maybe 2 more spreads to work on. And that's it. Now that you know my plan for 2020, I would love to hear what your plan is for 2020. I know that we are in March, but that's okay. It's never too late to get started, and as Ellie Edwards says, stories never expire. So tell your stories no matter how old they are, no matter how new they are. Just do it. Tell your stories. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will link the Scrap Gals podcast down in the description box below. And I will also link Ellie Edwards because that's the product that I use. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.